Hello, beautiful High Vibe Tribe. It is Pink Bella. Welcome back to my channel and to a divine transmission from Prime Source Creator and the Divine Mother. The Arcturian Team of Light is also going to be bringing in some messages as well as the dragons. I hope everybody is well. Thank you for liking, subscribing, and sharing this content out. Today, I've got a transmission for the 9/9 portal, which is September 9th, which is a few days away, and the full moon lunar eclipse, which occurs on the 17th of September, which is just preceding the fall or spring equinox. Incredibly powerful time. Unbelievable things are being cleared away. Massive, massive barnacles for ourselves, the collective, for our ancestral lineage and karma. It's been very intense already for many of us. So I'm going to talk about the energies, what's coming forth for the September 9th portal, which is about massive cycle completion and also new beginnings. And the fact that it's just a few days later that we have a full moon lunar eclipse. Very intense right now, especially if you consider yourself a light worker, starseed, 144,000. We are being tested to the nth degree to keep moving forward, but it's super important. Part 2 of this transmission will be about a grid work update for the unbelievable grid work that we, as a group, the Divine Goddesses and myself, completed for Banff, Alberta, Lake Louise, for all of the Rocky Mountains, and there was a piece already connected into the Pacific Ocean and coast. And our goddesses that came in to assist us were Mother Mary, Kuan Yin, third goddess Pele made a surprise visit because the second piece is to do with the big island of Hawaii. It's all connected, and it's all connected to help support all of us around the world, not just here. This is why grid work is becoming so popular, because we're all being called to it. And there's a piece for all of you to do that do it on your own that's come in as well, because it's all hands on deck right now. Okay. All right. Let's talk about the 9/9 portal, which a million years ago, when I had to choose a date to travel to live overseas in Australia, and I went to go assist and learn about the wildlife in Africa. And I'd already worked for a wildlife facility here in Vancouver for 2 years, where we rescued and took care of wildlife and then released them back into the wild. So it's all interconnected, whether we want to know about that or not, but it is all connected. By the way, I did a personal prayer and intention for all starseeds and lightworkers at this moment, because everyone is being so challenged, from the very basic needs to other scenarios in your life that are so intense. So I did light a white candle this morning and set intentions for all of us, just to let you know. And sometimes that's necessary, because the prayers clears the energy to allow us all to align with our highest golden timeline. Okay. So yes, so a million years ago, I picked a date out of the hat to book this trip that I'd worked so hard for. And what happened was, because I went to live and work in Australia and I got a visa for that, I also decided to do this dream trip of like traveling through parts of Europe and also Africa, because that was my vision. To the, some of us, we have such a vision when we come in, even at a young age, that we want to help the earth, we want to help humanity, we want to help the animals, we want to, and not just our pets, but we want to help like the wildlife, and we also want to assist humanity, right? We've just had this like beacon within us for lifetimes. So that means you are a light worker, a starseed, part of the 144,000. You came in with a divine mission, and that's getting louder and louder. So I'm going to talk about soul missions today, as well as personal timelines, and then I'll get a little bit more into what came forward for the grid work yesterday. Unbelievable. And I got knocked out for 12 hours. Yeah, it was huge. Okay, so let's talk about the 9/9 gateway and portal. That was the date that I picked out of the blue way back in September to 1994. So, and then on that trip, I had my Starseed download and activation at the pyramids, which I had no idea that was coming. My journey ended up being a little bit more, and I've just started rereading The Alchemist. It ended up being more of a journey within, more of a journey of higher self and source and creator, and the spiritual awakening. And by the time I got through Africa, I had compassion for all people who lived there, the land, the animals, the people who were doing the work that I wanted to do. very stressful place to travel to unless you have a at this point, unless you're on a work, traveling with a team, but they are protecting you the whole time. If they didn't tell you that, they are protecting you the whole time. They have individuals doing security when you're in Africa. So I learned so much. And then when I landed in Australia, it started to evolve more into meditation and crystals and remembering Atlantis. So yeah, I did basically from that point until 1997. I was going through such a like a defrag and a integration, and then the Palladians came to start working with me in 1997. Yeah, huge, huge, huge. I've got all sorts of uh, information on my channel, all sorts of playlists for everyone who's new. So thank you, everyone who's new. So this is going to be an overall. So the 9-9 gateway this year, I can already feel it. I have been overseas where some of the powerful ley lines, the key ley lines, like the one that goes all the way through Europe down to Greece and then to the pyramids, wide open. The dragon ley lines wide open. And those of us here on the Pacific coast, the intense sunlight codes that are coming in right now that started yesterday, impacting all of us, even myself. I'm in the Pacific Northwest, which is north of Seattle, but everyone down the coast and inland, massive heat temperatures right now that I feel are they're twofold. It's an onslaught of interference because when there are extreme temperatures, it's very difficult to stay focused and grounded, even when you have air conditioning, which we do not have. Most of us do not have here, but we what I started to realize the other side of it was to clear suffering. So the key things that we're clearing right now, we are clearing personal, karmic, other lifetimes traumas, as well as for our ancestors around suffering, abandonment, and betrayal. So another big piece of the barnacle is being cleared and within our chakras, our quantum field, our physical avatar, and also our personal Akashic records. Suffering came in really largely. So I did a big clearing for myself and my ancestors this morning because it's another piece of the puzzle. The other team that's still manipulating the majority of the story unfolding, they want to create great extremes to push us all into suffering and out of our heart chakra. Okay. All right. So there's that going on. So that's a big piece right now. And let's just see. I'm reading a little bit of information about this triple portal of energies that kicked off with the new moon and now the 9-9 portal. So this high vibrational gateway of September 2024 is carrying super powerful galactic activations encoded with the crystalline light codes of higher ascension and opening the autumn and spring equinox stargate. And the equinoxes and the solstices are powerful stargates. So on top of that, now we have a lunar eclipse as well. So that's why it feels so tense right now. It's closely, the 9-9 gateway this year is closely aligned with the eclipse portal, closing out all old timelines and opening brand new energetic cycle of higher consciousness, of awakened soul gifts or superpowers. With the ascension synchronicity energetic encoding, of course, of 99 and 999 codes, which is very powerful. I would also say 963 prime source creator codes. This gateway carrying the vibration of completion, closings and endings of the energetic cycles as we are stepping into our soulful new beginnings. This portal will remain open for 9 days. It's already open now. A little bit longer. It's going to go through the 18th of September, and then we'll be into the equinox gateway. But we're also going through a lunar eclipse on September 17th, which is leading to this powerful equinox. So I know when I've been overseas and on a really powerful main ley line, like mind-boggling, phone stopped working, barely could stay in my body. So I'm still in a powerful vortex area with the mountains. I prefer not to spend these gateways at one of the powerful ley lines anymore because I know what's going on. It's like everything opens up, and Gaia herself and all these stargates are being cleansed and healed as well. Okay. So we're stepping into soulful new beginnings. This portal will stay open until the 18th of September. Then we're in the full moon lunar eclipse on September 17th. This is bringing in galactic frequencies, galactic light codes. Did I say galactic? New word. basic galactic codes. It's a new word. Activating our light body, healing and transforming our spinal columns, all of our bones and organs, and all of the essences of our avatar. So transforming them, and of course DNA activations and upgrades through this triple portal. This year's energies are closely aligned to connecting to support our brand new cycle with divine alignment to prime source creator, and also to our divine missions, and for some of you, divine union. So it could be intertwined as well. This is a very personal, sacred journey. So even those of you who are in a divine union, this came through some of the mini readings, you're going to be guided to pull in and do your own healing, clearing for your personal and ancestral karma, as is the divine partner. Okay, so, and other people, places, things that might be removed away from us to force us to stand still on all levels. All right, so, and reiterating the clearing, deep, deep, deep. These are deep wounds for all of us, whether you're a divine union twin flame, whether you're a starseed light worker. The deep wounds is abandonment of the prime source from other lifetimes and this lifetime, betrayal, loss of hope, and suffering. So, and then you just add the weather, in the intensity of the weather, and that adds another layer. So many of us are very fatigued on all levels at this time. Okay, where do they want me to go to first? All right, I'm not gonna show, well, maybe I can. I had a background. Let me just see what they want me to show. Okay, and I'm gonna have a drink of fluid. For those of you, I'm going to talk about specials in between. Unbelievable specials on right now for this 9/9 gateway and lunar eclipse. Let's talk about them now, since that's what they just brought up. Okay, so during this, what is so special about the gateways? The gateways are an opportunity to just go into the Akashic records and do a big clear and wipe to help accelerate you to your highest golden timeline. All right, and then my assistance is to just get her done. Right, just come get in, we get her done, and help you to elevate to another level. So a couple amazing things that are on right now. So of course, personal Akashic record readings with 12 chakra quantum healing, whether in person, on Zoom, or distance. Those are all on special. There's a soul mission, divine mission activation package. There is a galactic origins activation package. I'm just reading through the special sessions, of course, individual. All the dragons, all the different ways, 6 different ways to work with the dragons are on offer as well. There's an opportunity to start a mentorship package with me as well, varying from 7 to 10 sessions. And they have unbelievable, beautiful, different color ray frequencies that we bring in. And the Starseed Empowerment Package. So I'm just going to, this is also on offer for the 9/9 Gateway. It is a mix and match package where you have the Quantum Akashic Record sessions, but you also have a choice of 12 different sessions, including a couple of specific distance sessions. So you can choose from just a quantum overview, Akashic sessions, soul mission, different dragon sessions, divine goddess codes, activations with violet flame, abundance. There's a choice to have an advanced J Seals distance session as well. All of the sessions include a 12 to 22 chakra balance, quantum healing, deep dive into your Akashic records, and clearing everything I just shared. Ancestral and personal soul agreements in this lifetime. So everybody is going through something a bit different. That package is 60 minutes, 3 60-minute sessions, but there is a different package called the Supernova. Same sort of thing, but 75 minutes, okay? And there is a package of 3 different add-ons, like Abundance, a Light Shield Upgrade, Soul Mission, I believe that's the third one. And oh no, Immune Boost. And that's included with this package as well, okay? So that's just a brief overview of everything that's on. How you get a hold of me, email and website below, also on the screen. And you have any questions about my website, please email me as well. Okay, it is first come, first serve, and
Once you book in on my website, I set up a date and time with you. Okay, because everybody's different. I work globally with people all over the world. So that is the most direct way that I have figured out to assist everybody. All right, let's go into some of the messages. So all massive light codes coming in, huge, like beyond recoding our chakras, our quantum field, our physical body, and our DNA. When this card, I've been showing this card for quite a few years now, since 2017. So what I love about Jophiel is the archangel is she's all about the star, the star card, the hope, the new beginnings, and as well. Now Egypt came in so strongly. I'm going to talk about soul mission cards. There's a connection between the Egyptian clearing as well as Atlantean and Atlantean messages as well. This is an opportunity to wipe out the old traumas and activate the new golden timeline and have some of your abilities be brought back to you. So you may be going through initiations. This is a big time of initiations for myself as well. And that's why I work with integrity. So during the fall of Atlantis and Egypt, there was a takeover, a multidimensional takeover from Team D, the dark forces. Okay. So that's why we do our shadow work. That's why we do our healing work, because it's another piece that gets like we release. So they no longer have access to us, to our planet, and we're releasing it from within. So huge, massive timeline being activated for all of us as on a collective level. And the earth star and the root chakra are totally being impacted. Root chakra is about survival. We can't connect to our earth star and move into another level of our divine mission, or even start our divine mission until we heal what's being brought to us right now. But we got victory and success. There's a root chakra. There's a huge evolution through this eclipse gateway. So we have 3 eclipses, everyone, which has happened in the past. It's not always common, but it has happened in the past. I remember that it occurred in 2018. The summer, it was around a Mercury retrograde and the Lion's Gate. It was intense. So the evolution, I kind of like this because it kind of looks like eclipses, and also, solar and lunar. Lunar is about letting go, and the solar is about activating our new timeline, and it's all kind of merged together. So we have one lunar eclipse around the equinox, September. We have a solar and a lunar eclipse in October. Okay, so that's compromising us feeling grounded and protected. And we have 5 planets retrograde. That's also impacting our chakra system and our evolution. And it's like, and we remove and let go of one barnacle, and then another one is put in front of us. So just be aware. And the collective that's not really aware of what's happening right now, they're going to be acting out too. Okay, they always do act out around full moons and new moons, but now we have like another layer added. What is this all about? It's about freeing us. It's about liberating us on all timelines and realities, and we become a more powerful sovereign being and a collective as well. That's why I did a prayer for everyone today, because there are people out there, you are suffering, you are having a hard time, and it's not just you. I wanted to let you know that. Okay. All right. The unicorn message is intuition. So again, such an opportunity to develop our intuitive gifts and abilities, which we need 24/7. Those of you who are out in the world, which I call front lines, which I am as well. I'm not just on here hiding on a mountain. I'm out there doing grid work in the real world. We need our intuition to be working 24/7. Pay attention to any uneasiness you feel, because it's a fact of where you're at and what's around you. It's allowing us to connect in more with our personal angelic frequency, and is also the archangels. And the crystal that came in is to help us stay grounded. So obsidian. So that means like, yeah, we're going to have periods of solar flares and feeling like we're being pulled out of our body, and we need to feel grounded. So some type of grounding stone, black stone, to help neutralize everything as well. Okay. I did pull some soul mission cards because I wanted to see what is happening, and I'll show a couple of them. First off, we're going our chakra, like fantastic time for quantum healing and chakra work. Everything's being reprocessed and recalibrated. So just to let you know, the quantum healing with a chakra balance would be really beneficial at this time and through September. It's forcing us to let go
release and let go of what's no longer serving us. And if things, people, places, things get removed, that's the eclipse energy saying, no, you had an opportunity to set boundaries. So we're going to really create a scenario for you to let go, walk away from the situations to resolve it, choose peace in each moment. This is two super interesting messages came in. Some of you are so connected to the animals. You can actually communicate with them, and that's going to be a path for you to work with pets, with other animals, to help the wildlife, which came in so big with the grid assignment yesterday. Okay, so some of you are absolutely on that path to remembering your abilities to assist animals in many, many different ways. Now, this is interesting. This builder card came in. So when that card comes in to quantum reading for all of you, it is connected. Let me just find it. It's connected to this Stargate. And Egypt is not just a portal; it's an old Stargate that they're fighting over. So, but some of you were part of the star teams to help create that. I mean, the Sphinx and the pyramids. When I went way back in the day, I already knew that I was receiving downloads at that area. I went to other areas in Egypt and I was not. So I already knew, and I did tap in with a few souls that lived there that were saying it was from a completely different era. You know, there are structures around the planet that you and I both know were not created by the individuals with the horse and the buggy. There was assistance. There was the galactic assistance, because we were at a time period first where the golden period of Atlantis, where pyramids were everywhere. They were crystalline. They were structures that were already existed. So some of the structures that are still here help us on a soul level to remember that. Okay, so some of you are these cosmic builders. You are a part of those teams. All right. The 9-9 gateway, whoa. Main chakras besides the root. So when the root is out of line, our crown chakra is out of line. When our earth star is out of line, the soul star is out of line. The soul star is connected to clearing our Akashic records. So that came in hugely. We're being divinely guided to clear out our Akashic records at this time, because that's where the recordings, the old stories are. Okay. And we're also to know a big piece of the dark ETs traveling back and forth and messing up the timelines. They're going to Atlantis and recreating a new timeline and then coming back. So when we heal and clear it, we close access to them being able to do that. So it's huge. Yeah, what we're doing, everybody, is huge. And that's why I'm here to rah and work with you all as best as I can. All right. Other thing, total full body light upgrade through this gateway and the eclipse. So some of you are going to have uncomfortable symptoms. That's also why I offer the quantum healing and the chakra balance. So it helps to neutralize those symptoms. Okay. It's also a massive divine source created gateway and portal, and it is to help us align and release and let everything go so we can rise up on our golden timeline and go up that staircase. Okay, that's helping us all go home. The temple of truth. So there's the throat chakra. The throat chakra and the solar plexus have been the themes this year, the theme in sessions. Like when we're around things we don't even see, but we feel it, and we feel this incredible like tugging or nausea in our solar plexus, and that's preventing our throat chakra, and it's multidimensional. It's also a radar of there's something in and around us or connected to that person or that place that is not of the light. This is impacting our throat chakra. But this is perfect. I love this image. I love this image because it's everything that we worked on yesterday. We worked on a really powerful nature vortex for our entire planet that has impacted all of our throat chakras, and that was the planet. So it impacted the water, the trees, the mountains, and the land. Okay, so we're being guided to assist with that as best we can. All right, and I think that's it for the transmission. Yeah. Okay. So I'm going to move into part 2 now. I'm going to move into a grid work update. So thank you everybody who watched and listened through that. Okay. So I have been doing grid work myself for Vancouver and consciously since 2017, unconsciously up until then, because I chose a family to incarnate with where there was opportunities to start remembering about Atlantis and Lemuria, and to travel and to do all different things. So now this is particular is to show how we're all connected. Where there's the grid system is whether we're working on the new or the old, whether we're trying to repair the old or new, we're all interconnected. It doesn't matter where we are on the planet, and everyone's being called up to assist. Okay, so if you're in a really good space and you're not in anything that I just shared about, then send out light and prayers to your where you live and the wildlife and the land and the water. Some of you are called to particular things. I know there's certain individuals that have been called to work with water. Keep doing that. It's necessary. And we're all interconnected, so it's a ripple effect. That's why the grid is set up the way it is. It's a ripple effect for all of us around the planet. And myself particularly, I was guided that I started working on. That's when I became conscious of it. I became active and working on the new Earth grid system, the fall of 2017. Okay, and how did I do that? I had peeled away enough levels and layers to communicate with my higher self. Now, sometimes what I like to prefer to do is to go to Prime Source Creator, and ask for direct messages as well that get filtered down for all of us. So my personal interaction is we're creating a new Earth grid. We're creating new Stargate systems. We are becoming Stargate systems. And the assignment yesterday was a bit of both. Okay. All right. So this is when the grid system is compromised. I had shared this earlier. This is Jasper, Alberta in the Canadian Rockies. That was, um, uh, everything was harmed. Mountains, the animals, everything. Well, the wildlife left early, but everything was basically wiped out. The Galactic Gateway, July 26, 2024. Okay, so that's what it looks like when the grid system is compromised and the other team has a way in. This is what we want to return it to. All right, this is what Jasper looked like before the fire, and this is what we want to return it to. So that's why we were called. So when I Jasper touched my heart because I had been going to this pristine area with my family since I was little. We have family in Alberta. So it just so like we're moving into such another deep level of our heart and high heart of compassion. So, everyone on the planet deserves an opportunity to go to these pristine places and this when big, large natural resources are being compromised, it's a ripple effect as well that hits all of us around the planet. So this is what Jasper we want it to be returned to, and we did a big piece of that yesterday, and I'm grateful for all the goddesses that assisted. Okay, so this is Banff Lake Louise that we worked on. I'll just talk a little bit about it. I wrote about it when I did a scan and I worked with the dragons. The dragons I work with are energetic. They are from 7 dimension and higher. They work with the galactic teams. They are not the versions of the dragons. And I'll do another session about the dragons. The dragons that were here on the planet have been given a bad rap. The ones that got left behind when everything collapsed and we lost our abilities, and that's where a lot of the abandonment and betrayal, many were trapped in the reincarnation cycle. When that happened, if there were any dragons left, they were captured, they were tormented, they were trained to be to go and on attack, and that's not who they were. So but I thought super interesting though, because that even remnants of those dragons are being found. And I had a beautiful Starseed sister send that to me today, and I think that that's amazing because that's physical proof that humanity often wants that there was something. I always felt it was very connected to the dinosaur energy and era as well, but like everything, the history that we were given about the dragons being on the dark side were incorrect. Okay. It's the same with, as an example, before we did this grid work yesterday, which by the way, all the dates and the information was given to me in August. Um, the dates made total sense as of yesterday. I think I got the download from the Galactics on the 4th about what we would be doing. So even in this pristine area on the outside looked great. When we got there, there were 8 dark portals that were opened just around Lake Louise themselves. In the Banff Township, there was 40. So that's how all the big fires have been occurring. Like let's ramp up the fires. Let's remove a lot of the wildlife and the natural resources to force humanity into cities, right? Whereas we all that love nature, we don't want that. We want to have freedom and to be able to go to these amazing spots. So we did a big piece yesterday, and I'm so grateful for all the goddesses that assisted. It was big. We want the Rocky Mountains, all of the Rocky Mountains. So the Rocky Mountains, we found all of them were disconnected from each other. So the Rocky Mountains in Canada were disconnected from the Rocky Mountains in the US, and in every single state there were dark portals, there were tunnels. So only those who were not of the faint of heart, the real goddess galactic warriors, were able to come for the session yesterday, and I understand that now. But what we did was we did healing and clearing. The dragons did the majority of the work, and like closing the dark portals. Archangel Michael and the legions of light and the deep blue dragons also came in to make sure that we were cloaked while we were doing the work. And we started, it was like a Drano. We started this area, and then it will start to move its way down to all of the Rocky Mountains as well, to start healing the land, the water, the mountains, and the trees. The trees were huge. Yeah, let me just see if the tree, all the waterways, the mountains, like lakes, oceans, rivers, all of them have been, everywhere on the planet have been compromised. And so we're unifying it all together, and it's like a puzzle. Everyone's being called to work on their own little piece. Okay. And if you're unsure what to do, but let's say you're attracted to the waterways, you can do research about it. I also can assist you with training, but we're anchoring in the light codes into the waterways with the trees, and then they're able to give back to all of us. And we're working on a system to systematically reconnect all the trees to the new grid system, reconnect the mountains and the waterways to the new grid system, the crystalline grid system. And it was amazing. They're so happy. There was also a piece of the compromise of the Rocky Mountains impacted the Pacific Ocean, which is the Lemurian piece. So we assisted with that yesterday. And then Goddess Pele came in as well and assisted us, gave us a little prelude, little preview about the second piece, which will be the Big Island of Hawaii and the Hawaiian Islands. Yeah. So that'll be the next piece that we're going to be working on September 19th, right around the equinox and the full moon lunar eclipse. And then there's Pele. So the message she shared with us was the imbalance of heat and fire, um, especially around the Rocky Mountains. I went and looked at the map of the Rocky Mountains. Unbelievable fires, most of them not created naturally, so high that people can't get in and out, and everyone just gets evacuated out. So there's been an imbalance between the fire and water and air and earth elements. So she came in to assist us. That, of course, Pele is all about fire, so she came in to rebalance and prepare us for the next grid assignment. And then the final grid assignment, we're going to be working on Los Angeles. That's going to be interesting. And Mount Shasta also plays a role in all of this. So the Rocky Mountains will be reconnected to Mount Shasta be reconnected to the Big Island. And then Mount Shasta is going to help facilitate whatever work we're called to do for Los Angeles. And I mean, this is just one piece. There's going to be so many of us called to all of it. Okay. Now let me just see. I think that there was one more slide. There's the dragons. Okay, so let's talk about the dragons. So why are the dragons more like assisting? They've got this powerful energetic. They can see where the dark portals are going from a galactic perspective, like all the way down to Earth, through all these different timelines and realities. So that's why they came in to assist us. They're very closely aligned to the goddess energy, and all the goddesses have their own dragons. So Kuan Yin has her own dragons, and Kuan Yin is very much connected to the Jedi galactic training that I facilitate and I've been through myself. Mother Mary has this is Galactic Mother Mary, okay? So she also has her own set of dragons, as does Pele. So we all got given a little piece of that yesterday. Just to make sure that I remember, the dragons that came in to help us yesterday, some of them were water dragons to help facilitate the healing and closing of the dark portals in the waterways. Same with the earth dragons. They were helping with the trees as well as the there's specific dragons that work with the trees. So they were all so grateful. So I wouldn't have been able to facilitate this if I hadn't already been through so many integrity checks with the dragons and with Prime Source. Okay, so and let's say you're new to grid work, well, choose something. Do you love the trees? Do you love the water? Do you love the mountains? Choose something and then start to go within and ask, what can I do? If anyone out there is interfering with the divine goddess Christed light codes from source that are being brought in, which we embodied yesterday and then activated them in the areas. Anyone tries to go against that now or prevent it, massive karma will be returned to them immediately, which I'm hearing return to sender. Yeah, so there'll be no more going forward. They were not able to interfere with the new crystalline grid process. Okay, and just remember, it's showtime, everyone. It's showtime for all of us. All right, that is enough for today. That's enough of a rah and letting everyone know what's going on. So if you would like to work with me, many offers on for the 99 portal, up leveling your dragon skills because they make sure that we're in integrity to work with them. There's also soul mission activations, single sessions as well. Well, you get a dragon message too if you're interested. And then there's the mentorship offer for you to jumpstart your September and really level up and move into what is my divine mission and how do I get there. We do a little bit of that in the soul mission activation package as well. I work on a game plan with you. And then we have the Starseeds empowerment package, which is the mix and match. I didn't talk about the advanced J seals today. I didn't want to make this too long, but I will let you all know, go and check out the advanced J seals playlist. These are imperative advanced tracking tags in our physical body, and also that opens up portals multidimensionally to allow for energy interference. Let's put it that way. All right. Sending you all so much love, light, and aloha. And I hope that everybody is having an amazing afternoon. And I look forward to working with whoever is called to work with me. Okay. Take care, everyone. Love and aloha from Pink Bella.